What's up, y'all? This is your girl Holly the Dopestress, and I'm here to talk about strabismus surgery. Inhale all your problems and exhale this problem solving. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Say what's on your mind, baby, just unwind. Okay, so um I was tempted to do the video, and then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it because where I'm from, people just they have very negative energy, and sometimes you just don't even want to be bothered with them and their comments and things like that. But aside from all that, I feel like it's a lot of people that can I don't know, get something from the video, as far as, you might be going through the same thing, or maybe you have other things that, you want to do, and you just need somebody to tell you that it's okay. Okay, so let's start with how I got strabismus, how I got a lazy eye. If nobody knows, strabismus is a lazy eye. Basically, it could be outward, inward, it could go down, up, whatever. So um, when I was born, I had a few tumors that developed here in my nose and in my lip, from what I know. And they grew like really big. They got really big. So my face on this side was like really big, like out here. My lip was like hanging. My nose, as you can see, got really big. Nobody in my family has this nose. Something similar, but not quite like this. So, it was a lot for a little child to handle or whatever, as far as like um, the way that it made me look and things like that. A lot of adults said a lot of mean things about me, about my mom, saying that she abused me, made up stories. And I mean, these stories went on for years. I've been called things like retarded. What else? This is all coming from, obviously, like family and friends and things of family, friends of family and things like that. As a child, okay. So as I got older, um, I mean, school life was okay. It wasn't too bad, because I mean, people said little things here and there. Like if they got mad at me, they'd be like, "Oh, who you looking at, me or, the person behind me or whatever." But because I had a strong mother and family members who rocked with me, it really didn't bother me too much. It didn't like make me upset about my condition or anything like that. Um, anyway, so I got strabismus surgery when I was around 6. That was in 1990. Stuff like that. Okay, so yes, surgeries and things, doctors have come a long way. The first surgery was not successful because I guess the doctor gave my mother some misinformation, whatever, and it just didn't go good. It didn't go good. I didn't do the We tried the at home rehabilitation, but I was already in school, like, so it was, I couldn't be patched up at school. I couldn't, even when I was home, like, it was more miserable for me to be patched up than to just live my regular life. um there were questions that I had, like, I always wondered, because once the tumors went down, because the doctors told them, hey, they would go away by themselves. Once the tumors went down, um I lost sight. I lost my vision because my eye was closed for so long from being in that situation that my brain just kind of shut down and said, this doesn't work, basically. So it's really a brain issue and not necessarily anything wrong with the eye. It's up here. And it sounds so easy, like, okay, you could just tell your brain to, that it works, and it works like that. Well, no, because after a while, the nerves in the eye died. So it's completely dead, can't see nothing out of the eye. But that was like later in life, like after years of like having fights and, doing different things. I guess it really came from um, and age, so it just kind of like died out. So my doctor let me know, look, there's no chance that you'll be able to see, but we can do the surgery, you'll be fine. So I had the surgery when I was 6. As time went on, high school was good, as far as like, I mean, people would say stuff behind my back, but it's, whatever. Like, nobody really had too much to say. And it's crazy because every relationship that I've been in, I never really dealt with somebody saying something mean to me in that way. Which now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, they weren't the best boyfriends, but they had to be somewhat of amazing to not take that route, because people generally when they're upset, they're mad or whatever, they say things about you. But um it really honestly boosted my ego as far as my personality, because I'm just like, yo, I got to be lit. Okay. But anyway, so fast forward, um nobody knew why this happened to me or what it was. They just knew like, oh, she got a lazy eye, whatever. So one day, I was turning 29, and I was feeling so amazing because I've been through so much stuff, and I was just like, wow, this is my last year in my 20s. Like, this is crazy. So, I just was going on a rant about my life, and I posted these pictures from when I was a child. I have never posted pictures of me as a kid. Nothing like that. I wasn't into that, nothing like that. But this particular day, I posted a collage, 2 pictures from when I was a child and 2 pictures from me being grown. And I told my story. And the feedback was amazing. Like, everybody was like, wow, I didn't even know that. A lot of high school friends was just, high school associates was just like, wow, like, if you would have never said that, I wouldn't have known. Stuff like that. So after that, because you got to learn to love yourself first. You got to learn to love yourself first. I was really never bitter about my situation, just about the fact that I really wanted to know what it was like to see with both eyes. That was really my main issue. It wasn't really about the look. It was more so about being able to see, like, like, what is it? Like, I used to ask my mother, like, okay, do you see 2 of everything? Or is it like bigger? Like, what does it look like? And she was just like, it's not that great, but she's a mother. So I'm just thinking, like, okay, like, whatever. She's like, whatever you can see, that's how we see. It's just maybe a little, maybe an inch more or whatever, but it's not, and my mother even tried to walk around one full day with her eye covered, and she cried because she was just like, wow, like, I didn't know what you were going through, but I really wanted to know, and it was just really hard for her, as somebody with 2 working eyes. So so fast forward, I'm about to be 30, and after I turned 29, I went on vacation. I just was feeling myself, honey. Like, yes, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this again. Just for me, I wanted to try it again. And so I did my research. I had been doing my research for 2 years though before I found the perfect doctor. um it probably was a little longer than that, because I remember maybe about 4 years ago I did reach out to a doctor, but I really started getting into it, watching YouTube videos, stuff like that, trying to figure out, like, okay, is this something that I really want to dive into? So fast forward, I found the perfect doctor. His name is Dr. Washman, um, in Princeton, which is about an hour away from where I live. I went out there, I did the consultation with him, and he was like, we could fix it. Don't let them tell you that it can't be fixed. That was the main thing on his website. Don't let insurance tell you that it can't be fixed. People think that it's a cosmetic surgery when it's not. It's a reconstructive surgery. It's a reconstruction to something that was supposed to be normal. So if you have a leg and you got half a leg, don't they give you you know if you broke your leg, don't they try to do something about it? If you don't have a limb, don't they try to give you a prosthetic limb? Or I don't know what the correct term for it, but they try to help you, right? It's not cosmetic surgery, it's reconstructive surgery. So um it's just like if I had lost my eye in a fight or something like that, it would still be reconstructive. It's not a cosmetic surgery. So he did the prism. thing. It's like this thing. He takes a prism and you have to look into it with your normal eye, and then it straightens out your lazy eye. So my eye was at a 50. I don't know if you guys that are looking tried it before with the prism or anything like that, but a 50 is like out there. So it was like really out. Now over time I learned to squint, which I would do like this, because my tumor was so big, it stretched my eye, like it made my eye shape different from my normal eye shape. So because of that, I would squint. I would squint so that I could look normal, just so it won't be like one eye is bigger than the other or whatever. Even still, like when I get very comfortable, you can still tell. But I mean, it was out there. Like over the past 5 years, it had really went out there. Like at first it wasn't so bad, and then it just kind of surgery was scheduled for August. The doctor called me. Well, the doctor's assistant called me and said, "Hey, we have an opening. Can you come next week?" And I was like, "Oh, yes!" Like because it was like 3 months or four. It was like 4 months away. This was in May, so June, July, August. Yeah, it was about 3 or 4 months away. So I was like, "Sure, I can come in May. Like that's dope. Like yes, I'll be there." And then his something happened basically, where he couldn't do the surgery that day. I got the call the day before. I was crushed, okay? Crushed because I was so like excited and nervous and just like going through a lot of emotions, and it didn't happen. So I just took it with a grain of salt, like, okay, I have to be okay with this. Like I've been living with this for 20 something years. Why can't I wait, a couple of more months or whatever? It was really just my anxiety. I just really wanted it to happen. It didn't happen. Okay, so fast forward, August comes, August 2nd. I had surgery on August 2nd. Um, it was he was amazing. This doctor is like really heaven sent for real. Like he is a good person. As far as like being a doctor, he has good bedside manner. He really seems like he cares about his patients. Like he's not like standoffish or anything. He's very nice, and warm, very warm. Um, he came in, he checked on me. I had a nose ring. I had to take my nose ring out for my surgery, and it was stuck. So we were having a dilemma on how to get it out, and one of the assistants was familiar with taking that kind of stuff out. So she clipped it, it came right out, and then he put me to sleep. My surgery was at 10 a.m., I think, and I was in there on time, and I slept. When I woke up, it was done. Like it was just I didn't know anything. He just asked me, was I okay? I said, yeah. And the next thing I know, I was asleep. So when I woke up, of course, you have to have somebody there with you to drive you home. I was in pain. I'm not gonna lie. Like the pain, I was like, oh, I was not expecting this. Like it felt like oh, it was just like so painful. Like, and I was still like kind of sleepy and groggy. So I went home. The pain, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it was about a 7, which is pretty high for strabismus surgery because usually people claim that they don't feel any pain. They just, they're just out here living life. Well, not me. I was in pain, okay, but the cold rag is your best friend. It feels so good on your surgery site, and of course, I had ibuprofen, Tylenol, stuff like that. You could take that. He didn't give me nothing crazy or anything like that to take. And I had to put the drops in. The drops consist of an antibiotic and something else. Don't ask me. Honestly, I know it's an antibiotic, and I guess it's a steroid too. So I was doing that, but I started messing up along the way. So one day, um, that day, I found out that somebody very close to me passed away. So I was in tears, I was crying, everything. It was just really bad. So that wasn't good for my eye. And then the next day, I tried to be fast and put eyeliner on. And then I cried again, so it kind of like irritated it. And I went outside, which you really shouldn't do. If you could wear shades, that's good, because the sun was irritating it. Like, it would instantly close like soon as I would go outside, and then it turned super red all over. It was really red, like really red. And when I went out, I didn't have my drops, so um, I put Visine in my eye. Don't substitute your steroid uh, antibiotic drop. Don't do it. I put Visine in the eye, and I mean, it felt okay for that time. But when I talked to him about it, he was like, "No, like you shouldn't have did that. That's not what I gave you. You know, just text me." That was another thing. He gave me his number so that I could text him or call him in an emergency or something like that if I had questions or whatever. And I didn't, because where I'm from, I just felt like maybe I was being too, like aggy or whatever. But he was just like, no, like that's what doctors are for. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Um, Eventually, I mean, when I went for my post op, which was about a week later, he discontinued the drops, but um, I still took them about another 2 days after that, because like it was hurting. It was still hurting. Like I was in pain. It was It was swollen. And so when he looked in it, he was like, "Yeah, you still have significant swelling. So you just gotta wait." Cause some days I would wake up and it didn't look right. Some days I would wake up and it was perfect. But I noticed that during the day when I would get up, it wouldn't be right, and then eventually it would like settle in. So I knew that if I was tired or sleepy or anything like that, I knew it wasn't going to be 100% perfect. That's not the aim. The aim is to have it at least about 75% perfect. Not perfect, but 75%, so that you could, you know, be satisfied. Don't go into it thinking it's going to be the perfect eye compared to your other eye. Just think of it like, listen, some people have siblings, their eyes are siblings, and then some people's eyes are cousins. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm cool with my eyes being cousins as long as they're not distant cousins, okay? So I let it heal on its own. I stopped doing so much, trying to do too much at one time, and eventually it started to like feel better. It wasn't as itchy. Don't sleep under a fan either. That's something that I did do, because it was hot, it was summertime. I would sleep under the fan, or I would just be sitting in front of the fan all day, and it would irritate it, obviously, because it would dry the eye out. So don't do that. um what else? So now it is August the 28th, the 28th, and this is my progress. Um, I can see obviously that it's not perfect, but it's so much better than it was. Confidence. Did it raise my confidence? Oh, well, coming from somebody who was already confident, I really don't feel like it raised my confidence as far as myself, like as far as what I feel about myself. But it did raise my confidence as far as me talking to people, um, getting used to looking them directly in the eye, or getting used to talking to people face to face, because a lot of times I would go on interviews and stuff like that for jobs, and I would just be like looking down and looking all over the place and just making it worse. That's all you really do, because then people think you're a liar, or they think you're weird or whatever, instead of just looking at them or telling them, your situation. So, um, also, some other things that kind of uh, some other things my strabismus affected was who I dated. So a lot of times I wouldn't date taller men, because I would hate to look up at them. Because if I looked up, when I look up, even still now, my eye goes outward. So this eye would be straight and this eye would go out. And I just couldn't deal with having to look up at a man, because I felt like he would be like, it's so weird or whatever. At least I could control it when I'm looking straight at somebody most of the time. But looking up, there's nothing I could do. Like, it was uncontrollable. So I would always date people who were my size. And I'm 4'11", so they 5'2", 5'5", would probably be the tallest. I did date someone about 5'11" or something like that, but that was because me and him had a really dope relationship. So that's how that happened. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother. Like, don't even try to talk to me if you're that tall, because I would not even look up at you. I'll be talking to your chest, like, or your stomach, like, oh, okay, like, no, I'm good. But anyway, this is my post-op results, and it's still a little red. As you can see, this eye is even straighter than my normal eye, the unaffected eye, the straight eye, what was supposed to be straight. Um, yeah, it's like my gauge, my natural gaze goes down. So my doctor, he made the eye that he did surgery on really straight. So even when I'm like looking down, or I open my eyes really wide, or I get close, you can tell that my gauge goes down, and the strabismus eye is extremely straight. So obviously you can tell I had work done or something. But other than that, I'm happy with the surgery. Um it's better than it was. That's all you could really hope for, is that it doesn't turn out to be worse than what it was, for whatever reason. But my doctor was amazing. The recovery was hard at first. I don't understand. Like, I noticed that people have um like a little red spot over here or in the corner where they had their stitches and stuff. But no, my eyes still like red, pink, all over, like all over. Um, it might be because I did extra things, but even when I came out of the hospital that first day, it was red all over. So that was just my process, regardless. I think the extra eyeliner and the crying caused more itchiness and maybe swelling. But other than that, I was gonna be red all over regardless. So if you come out and you're red all over, don't panic. Um, it's gonna just let the healing process take its course. And yeah, that's about it. Um, I'm really happy with the surgery, and we're only a month in, so I still have about another month before I really get to see the full results. The full results. Hopefully, it stays the way it is as far as the way that it looks. But when this redness goes away, honey, I don't know. But I'm happy. And if you're thinking about getting the surgery, comment below. Let me know. Did you have a bad experience with strabismus surgery? Are you thinking about it? Do you want to do it again? It's also a maintenance job. Like, you have to get it done ever so often, because especially when it's due to your brain, usually you have to get it done at least every 8 years, every 8 or 10 years, because let's just say it was just a tissue problem and they sewed it up and they fixed it, right? Then it's like, okay, it's done. That's it. But no, when you have a brain function going wrong, um, sometimes you may look at it and be like, "Ooh, this is bad today." It's not always going to be perfect every day, because maybe your brain is being lazy that day, or you're just not feeling it. Whatever the case may be, some days will be better than others. Some angles will be better than others. Like, I'm pretty sure when I look to the left or to the right, you can tell, like, oh, okay, you know, that wasn't right or whatever. Um, but yeah, it's a maintenance surgery, so I know that I'll have to get it done eventually again, and I'm going right back to the same doctor because he was bomb. My results seem to be bomb to me right now, and yeah, that's it. Just know that it's not a one and done, and for most people, it's not a one and done, and that just don't expect for it to change your whole life, or even like your thinking. It takes some getting used to being out. And usually when people approach me, I instantly squint. So now I have to um remember, like, okay, you don't have to squint as much, or you don't have to squint or whatever. When I go outside, or I'm confronting somebody about something, just asking them a question or whatever, I could be at the store or anything, I instantly squint. So that's been my main problem, not squinting or not feeling like weird or anything. Other than that, yes, but I just wanted to come and share my experience with you guys. I guess I'll post some pictures in here somewhere, some videos maybe. I don't know, something. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe. The more you like, subscribe, the more videos I can do. So yeah, Thank you for watching. Later.